Willow, Disney's newest show, is the streaming service's first live-action fantasy show since the genre's recent popularity boom. And when it became absolutely clear that people were done with reality, they decided to make a follow-up to the same named movie from 1988.
Stop the prophecy!
This child will have no power over me.
No! No!
Fans will be glad to see a lot of familiar faces, like Warwick Davis and Joanne Whalley, and also a bunch of Easter eggs. Let's take a look at some of them that the series recalls. The first one is Eric. The references to the movie begin with the name that Saoirse, who's played by Joanne Whalley, and Madmartigan, who's played by Val Kilmer, have given to their son.
What are you staring at?
Your leg. I'd like to break it.
You see, they named their son Eric, who's played by Dempsey Brick. The Easter egg is that he's named after Eric Thobear from the movie, who was portrayed by Gavin O'Herlihy.
You left me to die, Eric. I probably saved your life.
Back then, he was an old friend of Madmartigan who led the Knights of Galadorn and helped Willow and the other kids fight Bavmorda. If you don't remember, let us help you. Eric Thobear died in the last battle of the movie.
Eric.
Win this war for me.
So Saoirse and Madmartigan gave their son his name to honor him, but this new Eric seems to take after his dad more than his mom. Not to mention, he doesn't act like a prince and has quite a reputation for breaking hearts. The story actually begins when Eric is kidnapped, and the cast goes out on an adventure to rescue him. You didn't think that was all, did you? Galadorn and the Shining Knights are referenced subtly too. The Kingdom of Galadorn is another subtle reference to the series. You see, much like Eric, Galadorn succumbed to Bavmorda in the movie, but now the series is confirmed that it's being rebuilt thanks to the marriage between Graydon, who's played by Tony Revolori, and Kit, who's played by Ruby Cruz. But even though the kingdom was gone, the Knights of the Shining Legion kept fighting. Notably, the Shining Legion is still around because they accepted Jade, played by Erin Kellyman, as a recruit, although she decides to go on a quest instead of going to Galadorn.
They shall return and unite the world against forces of darkness.
Another subtle reference was made with the introduction of Boorman. Boorman's first appearance is very similar to Madmartigan.
Ready? Even the one in the haberdashery with... Yeah, I just like the feel of velvet on my...
Even that.
Okay.
Boorman, who's portrayed by Amar Chadha Patel, doesn't show up in the movie, but he plays a role similar to that of Madmartigan. His first appearance is very similar to Mardigan's first scene in the movie. When Willow first meets Madmartigan, the swordsman is in a cage because he did something wrong, although he lets him go after some trouble. We see Boorman begin his imprisonment in Saoirse's dungeon. We don't know for what exactly, but Saoirse offers Boorman his freedom if he'll lead the quest, which is once again very similar to how Madmartigan got his freedom when he chose to watch out for baby Elora, now played by Ellie Bamber in the show. Let's hope Boorman does better on the quest than Madmartigan did with the baby.
Are you any good?
I'm phenomenal. She's not coming with us, Boorman.
You heard the princess. You're going back to Tir Asleen at first light.
Speaking about similarities, another one was evident when the Bone Reavers made their appearance. The Bone Reavers' armor reminds fans of Kale's. The Bone Reavers are shown to chase after the questers and kill Jorgen Case, who was supposed to be leading the quest and was played by Simon Armstrong.
If you're not vigilant at each moment, I swear you will not survive.
While the Bone Reavers don't show up in the first movie, their armor looks like that of Kale, Bavmorda's right-hand man, who was played by Pat Roach. Kale does what Bavmorda tells him to do, which is to go after the baby Elora. He's a henchman in general, and it's his helmet that helped make the connection so obvious. In episode 5, we learn that Kale was the first Bone Reaver, which also explains why the helmets look so similar. The show also gave him a backstory.
The Mark of Kale. General Kale. You've heard of him. He was the first Bone Reaver.
Showing that Bavmorda made a deal with the slaves of Galadorn to give them their freedom in exchange for their loyalty.
The baby of the prophecy. The one that will destroy you.
I need that baby alive.
When Bavmorda fell, these people moved into the Wildwood and built a society there. In recent times, one of Kale's daughters, Scorpia, played by Adwoa Aboa, is now in charge of the Bone Reavers.
Actually, it's her sublime eminence, Mistress Magnificus, Venomous Scorpio.
She talks about how Madmartigan killed Kale in the Battle of Nockmaar, which we already know from the movie. But that's not even the most important revelation about Kale. She tells Jade that she's her sister. As the Bone Reavers ran away, Jade was taken prisoner and taught that the Bone Reavers had killed her family.
Your mother was killed by the Rangers that kidnapped you and took you to Terraslene.
But in reality, Jade is also a legacy character. This brings us to another beloved item that makes an appearance in the series. Cherlindrea's wand is once again seen with Willow. Maria Holvo's character in the movie, the high fate character Cherlindrea, had given Willow a magic wand.
You need a warrior for a job like this. I'm a nobody. Laura, you don't want me.
This wand is a big part of how Willow learns to use magic and makes particular use of it during the final battle. The wand made its return to the show. It's still in Willow's hands during the series, and he takes it with him on his quest. But like his magic, he doesn't use it. He even tells Elora that she isn't ready to use it in her lessons.
Dr. Tuatha.
What are you doing? You're the wand.
You're such a...
Even though he used it when he first started learning magic. So what's that all about? The wand is a strong magical tool that'll probably play a big part in the series, but we just have to wait for the big moment. Another one of the more magical moments from the movie is also recalled. The High Aldwin's tricks are shown off. In the movie, the High Aldwin, played by Billy Barty, is shown to be the leader of the Nelwons. He uses magic, but in a very oblivious manner. In the movie, he does two things that make him stand out. One's called the finger trick, and it's used to find people who might be good apprentices. The other is when he uses bones to predict what will happen in the future. Both tricks were brought back in the series, although this time it's Willow, who's become High Aldwin, who does them. He looks into the bones to see what will happen to Elora's life, but he doesn't see much. Also, he does the finger trick, which Elora fails at, just like Willow does in the first movie. In fact, he even reminds the audience that they saw him fail the trick in the movie, which made the reference even more obvious. And who can forget the iconic pig trick that Willow perfectly executed in the movie? The pig trick was given a notable mention in the series. Willow's famous pig trick, which he botches in the village of Nelwyn, was first seen executed masterfully in the movie's climax, when Willow was able to pull off the trick with Elora as the pig. Bavmorda thought Willow took the baby away by teleporting her, so the baby was finally safe. It's not a trick you'd expect from a great sorcerer, but it helped Willow when it was necessary. In a flashback, Sorsha makes fun of the trick while she and Willow argue about what to do with Elora. Sorsha's comment is meant to make Willow seem less powerful, but what did she do at the moment to protect the baby? Like it or not, that trick proved way more useful than anyone believed, and it's high time people began to respect Willow's unusual solutions whenever he's in a tight spot. Do you think we missed out on any Easter eggs from Willow? Let us know in the comments below. Also, please give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see you at the next one.